5 Memphis police officers who were fired last week over the death of Tyre Nichols, a black man who died after an encounter with the officers, were in custody and indicted by a grand jury on Thursday on charges including second-degree murder. Nichols, a 29-year-old father of a 4-year-old boy, died in a hospital on January 10th, 3 days after sustaining injuries during a traffic stop.
According to NOLO, a traffic infraction is the least serious traffic offense and is typically defined as an act or omission that's prohibited by law but isn't a crime. Common examples of infractions include speeding, failing to stop or yield.
It reminded us of Rodney King video. Regrettably. And unlike Rodney King, Tyre didn't survive. And so we are here to demand justice for Tyre.
In a video posted on YouTube Wednesday, the city's police chief asked for calm when the body cam footage is made public.
I expect you to feel what the Nichols family feels. I expect you to feel outrage in the disregard of basic human rights, as our police officers have taken an oath to do the opposite of what transpired on the video. I expect our citizens to exercise their First Amendment right to protest, to demand action and results. But we need to ensure our community is safe in this process.
The 5 former police officers also face 2 counts of official misconduct, 1 count of aggravated assault, and 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping. Officials also said that other Memphis police officers remain under investigation for policy infractions.
Now, Antonio Romanucci, he's one of the attorneys representing Tyre Nichols' family. Mr. Romanucci, thanks so much for being with us. I'm sorry it is under these circumstances. How is Mr. Nichols' family doing now that the officers have been indicted?
Well, clearly they wanted the absolute utmost charges. And I think with what we see today, they're going to get that. You know, John, I don't know the last time, if ever, I've seen a uniformed police officer under the color of law being charged with kidnapping. We have to take that in and really soak that for a moment and understand the gravity of what happened here to Tyre.
Why does that have particular gravity to you, the kidnapping charge?
Well, you know, I've been thinking of all different ways to describe what happened on that video since it hasn't been released yet. And here's another way for me to describe it, which may give you some context. It was an MMA fight, except there was only one side that was MMA. You know, Tyre was helpless, he was defenseless, he was restrained. And that's why you're seeing the types of charges that you're seeing here, from second-degree murder to obstruction to aggravated assault to kidnapping, because he was literally, his freedom was taken away from him because he didn't do anything wrong. The proportionality of what happened here was so askew that it only warranted the highest level of charges.
You just said it was like a one-sided MMA fight. You've also described it as Mr. Nichols being treated like a human piñata. Those were your words. Do you think Memphis, the community there, is prepared to see this video, which you have seen?
They're going to have to be prepared, John. And I think one way to prepare them is for us to be able to describe it so that hopefully when they do see it, especially along with the charges, that there is peace. That is the goal. Should their voices be heard? Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. But should there be anything but peace in the streets? Correct. That's what we're looking for.
What do you know about the traffic stop that took place that led up to this? Do you even know why he was stopped?
No, we really don't. And that's not anything that I'm saying that's been withheld from us, but we don't know yet. We know that the police have said that this was a traffic stop, but we don't know more than that. And quite frankly, I have to tell you right now, I don't know that it's just a justification that they're saying it was a traffic stop, because we know that these saturation and suppression units do use a pretext to stop in order to carry out this wolf gang-like mentality, this wolf pack mentality of policing.
According to NOLO, a traffic infraction is the least serious traffic offense and is typically defined as an act or omission that's prohibited by law but isn't a crime. Common examples of infractions include speeding, failing to stop or yield.
Family, those results are in. What do you know at this point about those results?
So here's what I can tell you about those results. The results indicate that what we saw in the video are consistent with a severe beating. And our independent medical examiner has authorized us to quote that. The injuries are consistent with a severe beating, meaning that the hemorrhage that was found was so deep that it could only be caused by blunt force trauma, which again is consistent with a severe beating.
I know you've got a lot on your plate, as does the family, but lastly, does the family at this point intend to sue the city of Memphis?
Well, I think a lawsuit is clearly on the horizon. I'm not going to tell you when that's going to happen. We have to complete our investigation, and I'm hoping that the productive meeting that we had with the FBI, the DOJ, and the Shelby County State's Attorney, that we've all committed to ourselves, that we're going to cooperate with each other, that continues, because we all have a job to do here, and that is to get justice for Tyre.
Antonio Romanucci, we do appreciate you taking the time to speak with us this evening. Thank you.